Okay, well, hey neighbors, and welcome to the Shed Shop in this edition of Dr. Diagnostics. I have on my bench a Stihl MS181, and on this Tuesday, December 19, when it's just 11 degrees outside at 7:30 in the morning, and the chainsaw redeemer has had to work all night because Dion has been absent in his mind when he washes my very expensive chainsaws. There is a Husqvarna 359 that was a beautiful, clean 359. Not a high dollar saw, but a very hard saw to find on the market because they rarely ever come up on the market. The old heads tell me it's because the damn things never break down, so there's no need to ever sell them. That's why people don't want to sell them. My piston has vanished. My 193T, my return line, which is like a $40 fuel line and elbow, has vanished. I've also had the spike for that and the hardware spikes. The screws to the spike vanish on that saw. We have a 450 and a 440. Both of those saws have the carburetors have vanished. Dion tells me he's staying very organized and that he doesn't put parts in the wrong boxes, but we have boxes with the wrong parts in them, boxes with parts missing. I've done my entire shed shop and dug through everything over and over and over again, and none of my parts have come up. I dug through the trash. We had like 13 or 14 bags of trash piled up because I don't like putting trash in the van, and the truck has been out of commission. I found an $80 OEM Walboro carburetor to a Stihl MS660 in the trash. I found 2 or 3 rim splines, brand new, $7.50 a piece, in the trash. I found several other parts in the trash. I found bags of parts in the trash. And now I found more parts that are dirty next to my ultrasonic bath, and I have no idea what they go to. And so, neighbors, we're cracking the whip on our lazy ass, milking, faking, hypochondriac, lying, Jesus, what's the word? Not habitual, pathological lying uncle, and it's no more. The chainsaw redeemer's tired as hell. Where is this MS181 from? Well, the chainsaw redeemer has been blessed enough to have neighbor Jonathan Luna, after about 6 months of not seeing each other, come back to me because his Stihl 028 Super was throwing flames out of the muffler. I will hopefully have an info card to that video for you there, and hopefully we'll have it as the end card to this video, because we found out what was wrong with that saw, and that's a really good video for you to look at to learn some education if your chainsaw is backfiring, throwing smoke out of its carburetor, throwing sparks out of its muffler, and not starting. Hey, where's all my neighbors that used to say I'm on meth because I'm talking a million miles an hour? The eyes don't lie, right? Well, we've had about 8 Starbucks coffees. We've had our pre-workout full of vitamin B12 and everything else, basically freaking legal crack. A couple of drinks of that. I forget what the shit's called right now. I can't think of it right now. Jonathan Luna actually got this saw for free, and I sold him the bar and chain for it, and he is moving, and so he has given me a bunch of those little home lights, top handle home lights that are like $10 to $25 a piece. Even when they're running, you might get $50 for them. And he went to start the saw last night, the 181 that he wants me to sell on consignment, and the sumbitch wouldn't start. But the thing is, it has been sitting with fuel for a while. So my theory is we probably have to refresh the carburetor. But that being said, neighbors, that's your intro. I'll try again, as I've been working hard to put at the beginning of this video what timestamp you can skip to if you don't want to watch my damn intros. With that, neighbors, I'm going to turn you down to the bench and let's get to work, damn it, neighbors! Okay, from the channel, okay? Thank you to all you guys that like and share and comment. My videos are not making the algorithm, you guys. I need you to comment, and then comment on each other's comments, and then reply to each other's comments, and then reply to each other's replies, and reply to my replies, and then reply some more and reply, and then share it with all your friends, and then tell all your friends to share it with all their friends, and tell them even if they don't like chainsaws, just come over and click a like on the video, and leave a comment saying, hey neighbors, so we can try and get some videos into the algorithm, because you guys, the channel's sinking. It's not just my life financially. The channel is, I'm not able to support it anymore. And so we're in trouble, neighbors. And so I need your help, okay? Help if you don't want to buy merchandise and you don't want to become a member. Please get the video shared and get it out there. Okay, we are going to go ahead and start by just go ahead and actually, you know what? Why don't we real quick? I'm gonna put the air filter back on. We'll try and start it. Yes, I'm talking a million miles an hour, neighbors, because I have to absolutely keep my mind distracted. I'm in excruciating, agonizing pain, and my chair's falling apart. It's missing 2 bolts, and I can't find them, but I've got to take the whole top off to put 2 bolts in because they go down this way, and you can't get them in because the seat's in the way. Okay, so Jonathan tried to start this last night, and it just didn't start. See? Oh, there she goes finally. Okay. See, I really think we need to refresh our carb. Okay, we 100% need to refresh our carb, but we're going to have to do a vacuum pressure test on this because we are selling this saw. And since it's going to have my name on it, we have to make sure it's good to go in all aspects, okay? Because it is a nice, clean saw. It's a newer saw. It's low hours. It's barely been cut with the brand new bar and chain that we purchased for it. And it's going to have a 90-day warranty most likely. So I'm going to turn you back down to the bench again, neighbors, and I'm going to show you how to refresh your carburetor on this saw. And we'll do some other diagnostics, hopefully. And you'll be able to see a vacuum pressure test. We'll see how far we get, neighbors, because I got to go inside and cook breakfast for my man-children in a little bit. I feel like a homeless person on the side of the road sitting in front of the grocer begging you guys for money. Except I'm not begging for money. I'm begging you guys to buy my chit. I got all kinds of chainsaw parts. If you guys need Stihl chainsaw parts, or you need like 4 and 3 series Husqvarna chainsaw parts, I have lots and lots and lots of parts that are not listed on the internet right now, but that I can part with. I can part with my parts for you, neighbors. Okay, I do not know this saw at all, to be honest. I don't think, yeah, I've never taken one of these apart. And so we are learning together, neighbors. I just don't want to break anything. Okay, so I'm trying to see how the hell this shit goes. It feels like there's more bolts. There's T27s up in that biatch. Okay. So it looks like we've got one here. Okay. Looks like we've got one here. Looks like we've got one down here. And I think that's all of them. It is. Okay. So we had 1, 2, 3. And there's our carburetor. Okay. Our throttle linkage just kind of sits there. It doesn't look like it's in the way of the carburetor. Typical standard of just wiggling our throttle or our choke lever out, it looks like. Okay, we're gonna have fuel spat everywhere, so let me go ahead and drain our damn fuel. Oh yeah, she's turning rancid for sure. Okay, I'm pausing while I do that. That's how cold it is outside, neighbors. Okay, got our fuel drained. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to debar this thing to go ahead and get it out of the way and make it a little easier to work with. When you're working on a table where you can access all 4 sides and you don't have walls in the way, oftentimes it's easier to work on chainsaws. I can't get this damn cap on to save my life. Okay. But when I'm working in this kind of space, I either put it in my mount or I debar it. In this case, I want to go ahead and debar it. Look, it's got a brand new 16-inch bar and chain. And as I said, Jonathan and I don't think even cut with this thing. I think we did 1 or 2 cuts and that was it. It's been sitting ever since. Okay, so get that bar and chain out of the way. We'll hang this up out of our way right now. Set that aside. That's going to have to get cleaned. Okay. We are going to end up pulling our muffler, so we might as well do that right now while we're on this side. And the reason we're doing that is, 1, we want to do a piston inspection. 2, we're going to end up having to put a block off in when we go to vacuum pressure test this saw. Okay, because as I said, if I'm selling it under my name, it has to be, I have to be able to confirm that everything is good and well. And that means making sure the saw doesn't have air leak. Because neighbors, tell me in the comments down below what air leaks come to do to your chainsaw. You should know already. That's a good job. Yep, you guys got it right. Air leaks come to seek, kill, and destroy your chainsaw, temple, and heart. We don't want that. Air leaks are not our friends, neighbors. They are bad neighbors. Air leaks are not good neighbors. Yep, piston looks brand spanking new still. Okay, next, we'll continue to work on getting our carburetor off here. Like I said, I think we just got to kind of shimmy our throttle lever out here. Damn, it's so cold in my shop I can see my breath. There we go, got it. Okay, carburetor just comes right off. It should anyways. A little bit of finagle. Let's see, our piston on the intake side, I'm sure looks just fine too. Oh damn, my light is dead again already. That sucks. Okay, gotta get a battery for that. From what I can see in the darkness, it looks just fine. Okay. Don't lose your little grommet right here. Okay, that can fall out on you. You don't want to lose that, okay? Let's see. I don't know if I have these specific. I've got about 3 more flanges I would have to buy to have all the test flanges for Stihl. But I'm not going to, because those of you that are regular on the channel know that I'm having to move away from the chainsaws. Okay, I think this is not the one we need. No, it does look incorrect, because that's not going to line up right there. This is for bigger saws. I was hoping it was going to work, but it's going to be a no-go on that. Okay. So, we'll end up finding a setup here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and set our saw aside, okay? And let's see what kind of carburetor we have. And we'll go ahead and get our carburetor parts pulled out and get our carburetor in an ultrasonic bath. It looks like we have a Zama. I'm guessing it's going to be a C1Q. Let's see. It's an S121A, so yes, a C1Q S121A, and so I should have all the parts we need for this carburetor, neighbors. You like how I say carburetor? Okay, so we'll go ahead and take our pump side off first, and I'm willing to bet this is stiff as hell. Yeah, stretched out to hell, stiff as hell. You hear how crinkly it is? It's not supposed to be crinkly, okay? So we'll set those there to match them up, because I'm not using a kit, I buy my stuff in bulk for the most part, and so I have a big old gasket and diaphragm set, and then I have a container with all kinds of Welch plugs and inlet needles and metering levers, and then I have another one with all the springs, and then I have another one with various intake gaskets. And then I have like 60 different types of carburetor kits, full kits. And wouldn't you know, neighbors, that 80% of the carburetors that I pull off of chainsaws, I don't have the parts for. But I know I have C1Q Zama stuff. Okay, our metering diaphragm isn't in terrible shape, actually. So our pump diaphragm is definitely the culprit. Okay. But like I said, we have to do a vacuum pressure test on this saw, because we need to verify it doesn't have air leaks before we sell it. And I hope to get it done today, because I need to go to town and try and pedal my saws. Kind of sad, but I know the manager at a couple of the businesses in town. They let me sit up at their business, and as long as I don't try and disturb their customers, I let the customers approach me. They let me put my little sign up and put a table up and try and sell my chainsaws. So neighbors, by the time you see this, hopefully I would have sold at least $1,000 worth of chainsaws today. Okay, I doubt it, because we only sell a saw about 1 in every 10 times we go up there lately, and so I don't have high hopes. Damn, every screwdriver I grab is manipulated or broken or something in some type of way, and I just put a bunch of new ones over here. Okay, this is for Jimbus's 038. Because he had to have a special, I had to make a special one for his saw. Okay, let me grab, I've been pulling a carburetor adjustment screwdriver out probably 2 to 3 times a day now, and my stockpile is getting really low. Okay, but we want to take our inlet needles out so we can clean these ports as well. I've been letting the ultrasonic warm up so it gets a nice hot bath, because even with 2 spacer heaters running in my tiny little shed, the floor is not insulated and the ceiling only has half-inch Reflectix foam board in it, and then I have R13 in the walls, but it's not all taped off at all, and so very poorly insulated. And when it gets cold outside, like this kind of cold, it's very cold. Okay, so that's our low and that's our high. Notice higher away from me, low. That way we don't mix them up. Okay, so I'm gonna give this an ultrasonic bath, and the only problem with that is, neighbors, I can't play the camera while I do that. Oh yes I can. You know what? Because I'll take the sound out, and you just can just watch what I do. I'm just gonna block this off like any standard way of finding whatever I can use to cut, if I have to cut rubbers or my silicone stoppers, and we'll go ahead and do this Saul's vacuum pressure test. See, that's the sound you guys would have to hear, and I know it sounds terrible on the camera. So I have a block off for this, specifically cut, but it actually looks like this is bigger than the 250s. No, it should work. Let's see, yeah, that should work. Okay, so we'll take our muffler. I'll tell you guys what, I'll go ahead and show you this part, and then while I'm digging out my my carburetor parts, I'll do the ultrasonic. That way I can still talk to you guys a million miles an hour, hyped up on coffee. I really wish I knew where my neighbors that were saying I was on meth are. They said they love my vids, that they're rad, but ever since I told them my sobriety story, they've been quiet in the comments. January 2nd will be 3 years of no heroin, crack, cocaine for me. No hard drugs. I have smoked Delta 8, which is legal, and that's about it. I drink on occasion, but I've never had an issue with alcohol, so that's not really a problem for me. And I don't say my name is Matthew, I am a drug addict. I'll say my name is Matthew, I used to be a drug addict, but now I'm not. Okay, I think our little 250 flange here should cover our impulse down there. And let's see here. It looks like it will, well, it's close. Yeah, that should work. It's not sitting very tight against it. That does concern me. This boot is very flat. It's definitely in there. It's been having a lot of pressure against it, sitting all that time. It's kind of recessed there a little bit. You do usually need to take these out. Damn, that thing is just a nightmare. It just keeps dropping everywhere on me. But that's my life. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And if it's unlikely to go wrong, it's going to go wrong 15 times over for the Chainsaw Redeemer. All while everything else continues to go wrong. Okay, so we'll put our 2.8mm nuts on. I don't know that that's going to seal up. It doesn't honestly feel like it is. But we'll give it a whirl, neighbors, okay? All we can do is try, right? And if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again, right? You only quit if you fail. Hashtag persevere. Buy my shirts, neighbors. Why don't you like my merchandise? Just tell me what's wrong with it. Tell me why you don't like it. I think it would make great Christmas gifts for people. You know, especially if you're a wife or a boyfriend or husband or a brother or sister listening in the background while your family member watches my channel right now. Okay? You could be like, oh, I'm going to find that at Chainsaw Redeemer 85/incidental auditor channel on my YouTube, and I'm going to buy some of his merchandise for my loved one because they like his channel. And maybe they don't want to buy it for themselves, you know? I don't know. Okay, I'm just grabbing the Mighty Vac here, trying to get this extra attachment out. And I really am concerned, especially with the muffler being grooved. I'm concerned we're not going to have a positive result here. So we'll start with our vacuum. Okay, go to about 7.5 pounds. And we'll watch this. It needs to hold for 3 to 4 minutes. So while we're watching that, neighbors, I'm going to go ahead and run the ultrasonic bath. Okay, it passed the vacuum test. Now I've got it on pressure. And again, 7.5 pounds, and we're going to wait like 4 to 5 minutes at least. Okay, we 100% passed our vacuum pressure test. Had like maybe 1 PSI in 30 minutes. I don't even think it was a full PSI. So I'm definitely confident that likely we just do a tune-up on this saw. And we'll be good to go. I need to, actually, I forgot. I need to inspect the fuel line. Yeah, it is pliable. I do have fuel lines for this. I think our fuel line probably needs replaced. Let me see how difficult this one is. Not too bad, it doesn't look like. We have an elbow here that it attaches to, and then an upper part, but I think our lower part does need replaced. Okay, so we're going to try and get that out, hopefully. It doesn't want to let us have it. Okay, there's that part. And then we'll go ahead and push the other part through. Yeah, this one's a little bit difficult of a setup. The newer the saws get, the more parts they add to them, and the harder they make them to work on yourself. Okay, without all kinds of specialty tools and whatnots. This is our little teardrop. Okay. Just don't have much space to work back here. It's definitely not like doing a 170 or 180. That's a lot easier. Okay, come on, baby. I'm trying not to puncture it in case it is good, but I think I'm just going to replace it with an aftermarket. But I've been trying to keep the OEMs if they pass test, because I think the quality of aftermarket parts has been going down. Yeah, this feels fairly pliable, but we'll test it real quick just to be sure, neighbors. Okay, so we're going to pinch it off as close as we can to our fuel filter end, and then we're going to pump 15 pounds of pressure, and then we'll pull 15 pounds of mercury. And on the pressure, we're looking for our fuel line not to balloon up in 30 seconds. It has to hold for 30 seconds without ballooning up. And then on our vacuum, it has to hold for 30 seconds without collapsing on itself. My Mighty Vac seems to take a long time to pump up here lately. It really is 14, but I like to go a little extra. Can't get it above 14, so it's not ballooning, so we wait 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and deglove. I've already gotten my parts for my carburetor taken out. And the other thing we need to do is go ahead and spray all of our jets and whatnots, all our ports on our carburetor with car parts cleaner. But I am, it appears, out of car parts cleaner. I need to go pick up a case, so we're going to use the second best option, which is brake parts cleaner. Get your safety glasses on, neighbors. This is dangerous. You don't want the chit in your eyes, trust me. It hurts like a mofo. Okay, that's sprayed good. High jet spraying good. There's good. Okay, we are good to go. We will go ahead and switch this to vacuum now. And this is where I'm concerned it might fail. Okay, so I'm going to grab my other two parts out of the ultrasonic. And you guys give me a holler in the comments if that collapses. Okay. Needs to hold for 30 seconds to be acceptable. And it actually looks like it's holding good. So I said sometimes I can't go by feel. But if it's questionable at all, I test it automatically or just replace it. Okay, and I want to keep the OEM since it's good. And we're actually at like 18 pounds. And you can see if it was bad when I pinch it, it would stay collapsed. But this one instead, it's actually, even though we're pulling vacuum, pushing out to hold shape. So that's a good fuel line. We are going to reinstall that, okay? And then we will rebuild our carburetor real quick. And I'm pretty sure this saw is going to be good to go. Pretty sure anyways, neighbors. I don't see anything else that would be an issue. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this bad boy back in, but I want to clean that area a little bit real quick. Okay, take a Q-tip, and then we're going to install it with our Stihl, just to help give it a little bit of extra security. We're going to buy insurance. Okay, clean our teardrop little molding here. All right, there we are. Get our Stihl out. Okay, and we're just going to put it around where our grommet, or where the molding of our fuel line, essentially what would be a grommet, sets in our chainsaw body. Okay, go all the way around in an even coat. Okay, I need a little bit more. It's cold out, and it's cold in the shed, so this stuff is kind of like gel-like right now, unfortunately. It still works fine. It's just it's preferable to have it at a higher temperature. Okay, and this only goes in one way. And I know it's going to be hard with these damn studs in the way. Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass. There we are. Got that part in. Go ahead and feed that bad boy in before my Stihl all dries, hopefully. Turn it around the way it needs to be. Come on, baby, get down in there. Okay, and then we will line this up. And hopefully get our short fingers down there enough to push this bad boy in. I'm definitely struggling because I can't reach. Just shy of being able to reach. Okay, where's my curved one here? Just carefully and gently pushing that grommet in. Okay. Okay, there we are. Just hold that down for a couple of seconds. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead, and I'm also going to put a little bit of Stihl on the back of my nipple here. We don't want to put it near the hole. We don't want the hole plugging up, because then we won't get fuel to our chainsaw. And then our chainsaw will not want to live, because it will have no living water. It will have no fuel oil mixture. And it cannot run if it does not have breath. That's like the breath of our chainsaw. It's the living water. Okay, and then that will just push down in there. Theoretically, anyways. It too is just a very tight area. And now it's kind of dirty. I don't like it, but it's what we've got to work with, neighbors. Okay, excellent. Did go in properly. Let's get this back where it goes. Okay. Muy bueno, excelente. That appears to be correct. Okay, next, I want to put this back in before I forget. Okay, and hopefully it doesn't fall back out on me. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put a new fuel pickup body in. I am using an aftermarket on this. Okay, so here we are. We'll just go ahead and put that in. I am surprised this line passed at 18 pounds of mercury. So I'm confident that it's going to be fine, even though it feels a little pliable. The test says it passed. Okay, we'll go ahead and put our fuel cap back on. Okay. Check my fuel O-ring. I might have to replace this O-ring. We will see how well our tank pressurizes, or equalizes, I should say, with the outside atmospheric pressure. Now, set our salt aside, and I will go ahead and show you guys the carburetor rebuild. Boy, it has taken me a long time to work on saws today and last night. Look how filthy that is. No wonder why our chainsaw didn't want to start. Okay, deep six that, Chet Rob Weaver. Okay, I'm going to start on the pump diaphragm. I have just matched my parts to make sure they're correct. So now we can also deep six that chit, Rob Weaver. I gotta get the story from him again on how that saying came about, so you guys understand why the hell I say that so much. Rob said it to me one day, and I was like, what the hell does that mean? He says, it means you throw it away. It's trash. Oh, you know what, neighbors? We better put our screen in. Okay, I got a new screen here. Okay. And I'm just going to use the... I'm not replacing my inlet needle or my metering lever or my spring or my wrist pin. They all look very good, and so I chose not to replace them. Okay. Try and get that to go in even. There we are. Okay, and you don't have to push it all the way down. It just has to be below that little hole right there. See that hole right there? That's where your fuel comes in. And if you think about your fuel coming into your screen, okay, if all it has is this little tiny space on the side to strain it, that means if that tiny little space, the size of that hole, okay, that tiny little hole right there plugs up, push it down a little bit more, then you're screwed. Instead, what we have now is the fuel is coming on top of the screen, and so you have all that surface area for the fuel to strain through. Okay, so it gives you a lot more surface area before anything would get plugged up. So now we'll go ahead and put our, on this side, your pump diaphragm goes on first, and then your gasket. On the other side, it's reverse. Your gasket goes on, and then your diaphragm, okay? So we're going to go ahead and take this. Check. I like to use my drill set at the right torque. Okay, and then at the end I just check everything by hand. Okay, you don't want to over tighten the chip. And then we'll go ahead and see if I can't use this to help me level my carburetor a little bit. Okay, that will help a little bit maybe. Let's see here. Doesn't want to be nice to me. Doesn't want to be nice at all, neighbors. Okay, try that there. Set our spring in place where it goes. Chainsaw Redeemer has carpal tunnel and arthritis and severe neuropathy. So the right hand I have almost no control over. I can barely feel any of my fingers. And I recommend you don't work with hands this dirty, honestly, on your carburetor. I think I'll be okay, but all it takes is one tiny little gob of something to completely stop your carburetor up. Okay, and then we'll just kind of set this in gently over top of that. Hold it down with our thumb. I have my magnetic bit here, which really helps. Okay, and then we'll put that in. You do want this. Whoa, see, I missed. I thought that screw was tight enough, but I suppose not. It's still under my inlet needle though, so I'm going to back my screw out. My wrist pin's not under my screw. It came out. There we go. That should be good. You do want this nice and tight. And I can tell you right now, something's not right here. Okay, I think something's not lined up. Let me try this again. Okay, something's definitely not going right here. Let's try this again. For some reason, it's not holding my wrist pin down. It's not grabbing my wrist pin. Almost as if somebody has put the screw in the wrong way at some point. Yeah, it's just passing right by my wrist pin. I've never seen that before. A lot of shit's been happening lately that I've never seen happen on chainsaws. Okay. Okay, I think we're good now. I want to do this by hand though, because it just seems a little bit off here. Okay, we're there. Okay, and then I'm going to take, well, I don't have my Zima, but this is flush to the body here. So this one will work as well. I need to raise my metering lever just a tiny bit. Okay. We want it flush with the outside body of our carburetor. Okay, it's a tiny bit high, but I'm going to leave it right there for now. Let me check, make sure my needle's lifting. It is. Okay, then as I said, on this side, I got a little bit of gasket there I got to remove. Your pump diaphragm, or your metering diaphragm, you got to put your gasket on first on this side. This is called your metering diaphragm. Okay, it's always going to be the one with the metal on it like that. Okay. Alright, there we are. And I did have to make sure I had the right size thickness on my gasket. And I'll tell you what, I do believe it goes that way. I didn't look at the ways my holes are, but I think it goes that way. Okay, there's that. And then, let's see. Not familiar with this saw, so... choke lever was over there. Yes, this way. Okay. Well, this is perplexing. I think I might have it backwards. Let's see here. Okay. Let me get my screws in and we'll see what it looks like from there. It just seems like it's not quite lining up right, but I'm not for certain. Yeah, it just doesn't seem right. Come on, baby. I just can't get it started. Something's going off here. Okay, so why are you in the way? It doesn't seem like it should hit the body of the carburetor. Okay, it has to be that. Nope. See, that's going to be incorrect. Now that I'm looking at it, it has to go this way. Okay. On there. And so I do believe we have this incorrect. I believe we have our diaphragms and everything backwards. Okay, I made a boo-boo, neighbors, I think. Don't work on these carburetors very frequently. So, I believe it's this way would be correct. But I'm having a difficult time getting everything lined up here. If I can just get one screw started, that would be progress. There we are. Now I'm going to do the other corner across from it. I'm holding this tight because I don't want the idle to push my cover. Okay. Whoops. I should have put my screw on my damn bit first. There we are. And then what am I going to do if the saw doesn't run right and it starts and then dies and I can keep starting it but it won't idle? I'm going to go immediately to this metering diaphragm and see if I've put it in wrong and see if it's possible to switch it the other way. But I think we have it right now. I believe so anyways. I hope so. Okay. There we are. There we are. Now I'm just going to verify this by hand. Feels right. Yep, feels good. Feels good, neighbors. Feels good, feels good. Okay, let's go ahead and reinstall this. Okay, I want to get this mat out of my way. Get the mat out of the way, Matthew. I always like being called Matthew because that's what I was named. And also, well, check, neighbors, I've freaked up my freaking jets here. Okay, let's see. I don't recollect which was which, damn it. Of course, I could rewind the video, but let's see. Let's see. I believe this was our high. which one's deeper. Can't tell. Yeah, I believe it's this way. Nope, incorrect. There we are. It won't fit in the other one. I just want to verify. I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. But yeah, you gotta kind of force it into that one. So that must be correct right there. And then we're going to lightly seat these. And then we're going to go out about 1 turn roughly. 1 1/8. Most carburetors, 1 1/4 is a good starting point. This one probably does need to be out that far, but I'm not sure. Again, I don't really work on 181s very often. And especially this style carburetor. I mean, I do a lot of C1Qs, but it really depends on the model, how many turns you need. Okay, so that one's lightly seated. This one's lightly seated, so we're going to go half. 1. We'll go ahead and do 1 1/4. Okay, on both. Half. 1 1/4. Okay, let's install our carburetor back. Make sure our fuel line goes in. That looks good. Our throttle's working. Let's go ahead and get our choke lever back in. Pain in my arse. They do not allow you any room for anything on this saw. It's like I said, the newer the saw is, the harder the manufacturers are making it to work on it yourself. Okay, there's that. And then we put our shroud back on. Let's clean that off. There we are. And I do believe I have a new air filter for this, but that one looks pretty clean actually, so I don't think we'll have to replace it. Okay, there's that. Try and line that up properly. I've got my screw getting in the way there. Okay, there's that. We will go ahead and get our T27 back on our drill. Did you neighbors see what I did with it? Yes, it's on the impact. Thank you, guys. These videos have been, it's just so hard to make a short video. And the problem is I just don't have a lot of time to edit footage. But next year I'm going to have a second phone, and so we're going to be working with a little bit better setup. Okay, I need to set the torque right though. Okay. Get in the screw there. Come on, baby. Okay, there's that. Let's make sure our choke works. It does. One click up. Okay, it disengages it, turns off. Yes. Okay, let's remove the block from our muffler here, and we'll test this saw out. Okay, there's that. Get this out of the way. We'll go ahead and put this cooling plate back on. Let's clean that up a little bit real quick. Wow, 45 minutes. Boy, woo! I'm getting slow in my old age, you guys. If this was a 180 instead of a 181, we'd have been done by now and had a rick of wood cut already. The newer the saw, the harder it is to work on. It's no joke. They really are making it difficult for guys to do the chit themselves now. And it takes a lot of time. Why? Because then they can also charge you more labor when you bring your chit to the dealer. Okay, does that look right? It seems right. Let's see. Oh, I gotta clean the spark screen too, damn it. It looks like chit. Realistically, I'm just gonna take it out. Oh, yeah, that's in there. Come on, baby. Get out of there. Sucker's in there good because it's got carbon built up all over it. But that's not a bad thing because that means the saw's been run rich instead of lean, which is good. That's what we want. Damn, this some bitch ain't coming out though. Woo! Come on, baby. Oh, the carbon's scraping off. That's why it's so tight. Alright, there we are. We're just going to leave that out for now. And we'll let the buyer of this saw, whoever buys it today, because we're going to stay positive. I'm going to sell this bitch today, along with like my 064 or my 200T. Yeah, that is appearing incorrect here. I don't think I have this set up correctly. I think I have it upside down is probably what I did. It must go this way. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, that appears correct now. It is correct. Okay, I'll use a hand wrench to finish tightening those up, because that drill does not go tight enough torque. Oh, my shoulder, fuck. So much pain, you guys. This stuff causes me agony. And it sucks because this used to be my passion. But I don't love it so much anymore. I did enjoy working on this one. This has been nice, as long as it starts again for us. Okay, we don't want it to not start. Okay, there we are with that. Last thing we need to do is get our air filter on. Okay, and then whoops, this goes on first. For some reason I thought it was going after our air filter. Okay, and that's our 2 8mm nuts. Okay, and 2 nuts, 8 mils. Okay, I haven't tightened that down all the way because we want to do everything kind of evenly back and forth. We don't want to just tighten one side all the way down. Okay, excellent. Okay, now we can put our air filter back on. And then we can go ahead and do our top cover. Hopefully. There we are, that's butter. Okay, that's secured. Let's get our bar and chain back on. Our beautiful brand new bar and chain. This thing has very few hours on it. It is almost a brand new 181. And I can't believe the amount of commission Jonathan said he's going to pay me to sell the saw. I'm not going to tell you guys, but it's really good. It's way more than fair. And I don't try and argue with Jonathan. Like, he brought that 028 under warranty. And I don't mind. Sometimes my neighbors tipping me, you know, when I fix their chit on warranty. But I didn't have a lot of time into his saw. Absolutely insisted that I take a tip. And it was a $47 tip. Just for replacing a flywheel key and going through his saw a little bit, and making sure everything else was good, when he was 100% under warranty and didn't have to pay nothing if he didn't want to. And so that was really nice of him. I'm really happy that I've been able to see Jonathan again. You know, he gets real busy in life, and so do I, and then we just had some other shit going on. But everything's cool and good and dandy now, so let's properly tension our chain. Needs to be tightened a little bit more. Okay, just a little bit. Where'd my scrunch go? I do believe this saw should run fine now. I'm pretty certain that carburetor should have been our only issue, and that fuel pickup, actually, that fuel pickup body was terrible. Okay, what is going on with our chain here? There we are. Okay, excellent. Shall we get some fuel? Let me make sure it has oil, because we don't want to burn up our bar. It looks really nice. Very little oil, so I'm going to add oil to it too. Okay. I use cheap oil to test my saws most of the time. When I run out and I can't get the Echo stuff that I like, I just use the Walmart stuff, and it works fine. It works the same as the stuff that's twice as much money, it seems. But if I was logging and milling all day, I wouldn't use the cheap jet. Okay. Get that one on. Switcherooski's here. Get her a little bit of fuel. Shazam. Small tank there, neighbors. Okay. I hope this is good to go because I'm ready to work on some 044s. Okay. Should we be like Will Ferrell? Dear sweet baby Jesus, let my chainsaw start. Amen. There she is. Okay, she's good to go. I'm going to go do a couple of cuts. Wow. Long ass video. Until next time, neighbors. Be kind to one another. Everyone's facing a battle. Please buy my chit. Seriously. Chainsaw Redeemer's trying to feed 3 human beings and 5 animals and isn't making any money. Look at my merchandise. Tell me if you want a shirt or a sweater design with something specific on it. If I can do it, I'll do it, neighbors. And if you know anybody that needs a chainsaw, give them my information. And also tell them, give me your information, because I'll pay you 10% commission, a minimum of $10, a maximum of $100. Okay, so if you send somebody to me and they buy a $1,000 chainsaw, you get $100. And if you're not local, I can cash out that chit to you. Okay, I can PayPal that chit to you. Or I can send you a check in the mail from my bank. Love all 8 billion of you, even though I suck at it. Let's keep persevering, neighbors.